Hello guys, welcome back to yet another interesting video. So we all know right now summers are going on and a lot of smartphones are getting affected in terms of battery backup. Today in this video we'll talk about 20 plus settings which you guys can use it on your smartphones to extend the battery life. And we'll also tell you guys how to maintain your battery health 100% for longer run. Using few of these settings, for sure your device battery will last longer. So now let's not waste much of time and let's talk about the settings. So in this video I'll be using OnePlus 12 and guys there are few settings which you might not find it on other smartphones, so in that case you need to manually adjust the settings. First let me talk about the battery health. So battery health also gets affected if you use your device for longer hours or even in longer run. So this is my OnePlus 12 and till now on this device the battery health still remains at 100%. Nowadays phones are very smart and like before, nowadays we don't need to calibrate the battery. OS automatically take care of that, and nowadays it's also not recommended to drain the battery up to 0 and then charge to 100. To maintain the good battery health, never let your device battery goes below 20% and restrict the charging over 80%. As said before, most phones have these settings. Like you can see on OnePlus 12, we have this setting to stop the charging at 80%. Always make sure you enable this so your device won't charge above 80%. And guys, also remember to disable this feature which is called Smart Rapid Charging. This will charge your device quite fast, but it will also affect the battery health. So make sure to maintain good battery health on your device, you disable this feature. And if this feature is enabled, the device also heats up. And another setting which can heat up your device, and that's the high performance mode. So also make sure you disable this feature while using your device. So these are few things which can help your device battery health last longer. I've been using this device as my primary phone and you can see still the battery health is at 100%. First we'll start with some display settings which can help you increase your battery backup. And one of the thing is keeping the brightness at a certain level. See guys, here there are two conditions. There are some studies which says if the auto brightness is used, then they see less battery drain. And there are some studies in which they say if you turn off the auto brightness, then there is less consumption of battery. See, both the claims are right because it all depends on your environmental condition. If you have enabled auto brightness, and if you go out, the brightness reaches to maximum level, and if you stay indoors, the brightness doesn't go at that level, which might drain more battery. See, I don't go much out, and what I have seen is if I keep the auto brightness toggle turned off, I do get better battery backup because the sensor doesn't work here. If you go out also, you can manually adjust the brightness according to your requirement instead of device reaching the peak level or the highest brightness. Then another setting what you can change under display is the auto screen off time. Try to set a balanced time. What I use here is that is 30 seconds. According to me, what I feel is 15 seconds is quite low because here even if the screen turns off and you turn it on again, you'll obviously notice more battery drain. And also make sure you disable adaptive sleep feature on your OnePlus smartphones, because if this is enabled, the device uses the camera to see whether you are looking at the device screen or not. Accordingly, it keeps the screen on. So here again another hardware is being used which will obviously drain more battery. Also under resolution, make sure you use the standard resolution option if it is available on your devices. This will also help you increase the battery life, and it also says in the description. After that, under display, make sure you use this standard refresh rate to get the maximum battery backup. 120Hz will obviously drain a lot of battery compared to 60Hz. You can also use the auto select option because if the device is not in use or if you're not touching the device, the refresh rate goes to 1Hz if your device has LTPO panel. But I prefer keeping it standard. If you keep it at standard, your apps will also run in 60Hz instead of 90 or 120. This feature might be available on some devices, but on OnePlus it is available. You can see almost all the applications now supports 120Hz by default and they will drain a lot of battery. So avoid using high refresh rate. Instead of that, go with the standard one. Then another setting under display is the dark mode. So on screens that use OLED or AMOLED technology, black pixels are actually turned off. So displaying more black saves more power. And I always recommend using enhanced mode if it is available on your device instead of this medium and gentle. Also another thing what you can make changes, there are few applications which doesn't support dark mode. So on OnePlus you will get this force dark mode option which can be enabled. So if you enable this and in your usage, if you use those applications, they will also adapt to the dark theme. Though it's in beta testing, it may or may not work properly, but you can still give it a try. After that, always remember not to use the always on display throughout the day. So if you go to the settings on smartphones like OnePlus, Under display mode, there will be three options. One is power saving. So here the always on display will only work for 10 to 15 seconds. After that, it will be turned off. Another option is scheduling it. According to your requirement, you can make the changes. And the third option will drain more battery compared to first and second one. And here OnePlus have set the restrictions. If your device battery goes below 10%, the AOD will stop working until you charge your device. So if you are the one who wants AOD with the less battery consumption, make sure to use the power saving mode. When it comes to connectivity, there are two things which I personally turn them off. One is this Wi-Fi and the second one is Bluetooth. When I'm traveling and if I'm not using my headphones, I make sure I disable them because these radios constantly scan for connection and that leads to more battery drain. And whenever there is Wi-Fi available, avoid using mobile data because mobile data drains more battery compared to if your device is connected to Wi-Fi. If you're traveling out, also make sure to turn off 5G. Instead of that, use 4G or 2G to just get the notifications or to reply the messages. Until unless it is not required, do not turn it on or do not use the 5G services. If you're using public Wi-Fi, then make sure network strength is good enough. Lower the network strength, slight additional battery drain you'll see. And the same thing goes with the mobile data also. Weak signals force your device to work harder, draining the battery more. And also another change what you can do when it comes to connectivity, like for example, if you get a lot of calls, try to keep your device in ringing mode instead of vibration because vibration uses more power compared to ringtones. Or else if you still want to use the vibration, make sure you reduce the haptic intensity to the lowest level where you can still feel the vibration, ending up consuming less battery. Also, if you limit the usage of GPS, your device will get a great battery backup. GPS is a significant battery drainer and limiting the use can always help. Until unless you require to turn on location services, you can turn it off. Still, if you want to use the location service, make sure you make some restrictions in the applications. If you take an example of payment services, they do use your location service. You can just allow those applications to use location services. Other applications can be turned off. So let me show you one of the examples. If I go to settings, apps, app management, I generally use credit application to make payments. So here this application do requires location permission. If I disable the main setting of location, even this thing will be disabled. So in that case, what I can do is I can just allow the permissions of this application and later on I can turn off permissions of the other application. So here also you can see I have not allowed location permission to Amazon application. I mostly do such things to get good battery life. And now let's talk about apps and performance. So nowadays modern smartphones do have these features where system automatically decides to optimize the battery usage. If you go to this setting, optimize battery usage, you can see by default on all the applications there is an option always ask. To get the best performance, you can tap on auto optimize. So if the application is not running in the background, the system will automatically optimize if it's consuming more battery. If you haven't made any kind of changes and if any application is draining more battery, you'll get the notification and from there it will ask you whether to optimize or not. So it's up to you. If you want, you can set auto optimize, and there will be few applications like Facebook. You can see it's not optimized because this application would have been in the logged application. Under recent task manager, you can see these are the applications and here system automatically decides which all apps needs to be logged depending on your usage. So if you don't want all these applications in the background because they'll be continuously sending you the notification whenever there's a notification for that particular application, if you want, you can unlock all the applications. OnePlus have also given this optimized battery usage. Here there are some settings which can help you optimize device itself. For example, turn off location services, and it also shows you how much extra time or the screen on time your device will deliver. Then turn on auto brightness, that can help you increase the battery life. Additionally, 47 minutes. As I told you guys, remember one thing, depending on the usage, auto brightness can also help you save battery, and if you use your device with manual brightness, that can also help you get more battery backup. All depends on the situation and the way you use your device. And after that, you can see there are few applications which device have closed. Change the auto timer to 30 seconds, turn off gestures, turn off 5G, turn off always on display. You can select all these settings, and in my case you can see if I've turned on all these settings, I'll additionally get 3 hours 2 minutes of screen on time. Also, always make sure you uninstall the unwanted apps from your device which you don't use at all. That can also help you save some extra juice on your device. And another thing, make sure on regular basis you update all the applications from the Play Store. Another thing, never use live wallpaper because that also drains a lot of battery. So instead of live wallpapers, make sure to use static wallpapers and try using any black background wallpaper. See, another thing which drains a lot of battery, and that's animation. So there are few things which you can do. Either remove the animations completely, which will actually help you get more battery backup. And if you're traveling somewhere, avoid using 5G because 5G also drains a lot of battery. Now talking about hardware guys, here also you need to keep one thing in mind. If your device heats up more, obviously you'll see more battery drain. As I said initially, high heats also damage your device battery. So always try to keep your device cool using any phone cooler or just avoid using the device under direct sunlight. Always use the original charger. Third-party chargers may not be optimized for your phone battery. So whatever charger comes in the box, always use that. And at last, if you don't use your device, like if you want to just use basic settings or basic applications, then we also have this power saving mode, under which on most of the devices, you'll find this option of super saving mode. So once you enable, you can set 6 applications. On OnePlus, we can set 6 applications. Still your device will use mobile data and other stuff, but it can be very useful. If you see here, battery can last up to 2 days, 22 hours and 45 minutes, almost 3 days. So this feature can always help you if you are stuck somewhere with no power backup. There's also power saving mode, and it can also help you get few additional hours when it comes to screen on time. So guys, these are some of the settings which you guys can apply on your devices and get the best battery backup when it is required. I hope you guys find this video helpful. As of now, only this much in this video. This is your friend Ashok signing out. See you guys in the next video.